Hello viewers, welcome to May-June 2016 WAEC, also known as WASSCE, Past Questions and Detailed Solution, General Mathematics / Mathematics Core, Paper 2, Part 2, Questions 6 to 13. You are to answer 5 questions in this part. Solution to 8 questions in one video. Question 6a. Find the sum of the arithmetic progression AP. The progression is 1, 3, 5, and the last term 101. To find the sum of terms of an AP, we have two formulas. One uses first term and common difference, and the second first term and last term. The two can be used here, but let's go with the one that uses first term and last term, and that formula is this. From here, the sum of terms is unknown. Number of terms whose sum you want to get is also unknown. From the AP, the first term is A, common difference is 2. That is second term minus first term, or third term minus second term. You have 2. The last term is 101. We need to get n first, so we use the information about the last term, first term, and common difference to get n. You recall that the last term, the same thing as the nth term of an AP, is equal to first term A plus bracket open n minus 1 bracket close times d. The last term is 101 equal to first term is 1 plus bracket open n is unknown minus 1 close the bracket times 2 common difference. So you have 101 equal to 1 plus, if you open this bracket with 2, you have plus 2n minus 2. Collect like terms, you have 101 minus 1. If you transfer plus 1, becomes minus 1. If you transfer minus 2, becomes plus 2 equal to 2n. When you add and subtract, you have 102 equal to 2n. To get n, divide both sides by 2, and n is equal to 51. So the number of terms, they are 51. So the sum of the 51 terms are n. So we are back to this formula now. N is 51 over 2. First term is 1 plus last term 101. You close the bracket, so you have 51 over 2, because the two numbers cannot be divided completely. So if you add the bracket, you have 102. If you divide 102 by 2, you have 51. That will multiply 51, and you have 2,601. Question 6b. Out of the 95 travelers interviewed, 7 traveled by bus and train only, 3 by train and car only, 8 traveled by all 3 means of transport. The number S of travelers who traveled by bus only was equal to the number who traveled by bus and car only. 47 people traveled by bus and 30 by train. Roman figure 1 represents this information in a Venn diagram. Roman figure 2 calculate the part 1 value of s. Part 2 number who traveled by at least 2 means. Solution: we have to define the subset for easy writing. So let B represent bus, T represent train, and C represent car. From the question, the total travelers interviewed means the universal set, which is equal to the union of the 3 subsets, and that is 95. If you go again, those that traveled by bus and train, that is, and means intersection. So B intersection T is 7. Those that travel by train and car, they are 3. Those that travel by all 3 means, that is the intersection of the 3 subsets, they are 8. Now, the number s of those who traveled by bus only, that means this word only means that there is no connection between the train and car, just bus only. That means bus intersection T complement intersection C complement, and is equal to those that traveled by bus and car. That number is S. Number of those that traveled by bus is 47 and by train is 30. In the Venn diagram, there is intersection of the 3 subsets too. They have a meeting point. So this is the Venn diagram. This is subset for bus, subset for train, and subset for car. This is the universal set. So you have 8 here, the intersection of the 3 subsets. This 7, those that travel by bus and train. Where is this? You can see there. That is 7. Then this 3 here, those that travel by train and car. Then this S, those that traveled by bus and car and bus only. That is, we said the word says that these 2 places, they are equal. So this is the Venn diagram. Next thing is to find the value of S. To find the value of S, you add all the elements in the Venn diagram and equate it to the universal set. That is S plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 equal to 95. One more thing, we are supposed to add everything equal to the universal set 95, but because of this S here and there is no element here, we are not going by that approach. But if you check the subset for bus, S is inside, you have S, you have 8, and you have 7. So if we add these 4 elements, we equate it to the number of travelers by bus. The first approach is when you have the complete element in all the subset. Because only T and only C are empty, we have to use the bus to get the value of S. So what we have here now is S plus 8 plus 7 equal to 47. So we have Roman figure 2 part 1, find the value of S. As I explained earlier, we use the subset for bus, where you have s plus 8 plus 7 equal to number of travelers by bus. S plus s is 2s, 8 plus 7 is 15 equal to 47. If you collect like terms, you have 2s equal to 47 minus 15. 2s is equal to 32 and s is equal to 32 divided by 2, that is 16. Part 2, number who traveled by at least 2 means, that is 2 or 3 means. Let me bring the Venn diagram to explain this better. So those that traveled by at least 2 means those that use 2 or 3 means. This place is 2, that is bus and car. You have train and car. You have bus and train, and those that use all 3 means. That is s plus 3 plus 7 plus 8 equal to s is 16. If you add these together, you have 18, and that gives 32 travelers used at least 2 means of transportation. Question 7a. Using completing the squares method, solve correct to 2 decimal places. S minus 2 over 4 equal to s plus 2 over 2s. What this means is that if this equation is simplified by clearing fractions, the result is going to be a quadratic equation of this form. So this is the given equation. To simplify, multiply through by 4s, the LCM of the denominators, 4 and 2s, to clear fractions. If you multiply this term by 4s, 4 will remove 4, only s is remaining, that will multiply the numerator. If you multiply this term by 4s, 2 is remaining, that will multiply the numerator. So open the brackets. If you open this bracket, you have s squared minus 2s equal to 2s plus 4. If you rearrange so that the right hand side is 0, you have to transfer 2s plus 4 to the left hand side, and you have s squared minus 2s. If you transfer plus 2s to the left hand side, becomes minus 2s. If you transfer plus 4, becomes minus 4 equal to 0. If you add like terms, you have s squared minus 4s minus 4 equal to 0. We now have a proper quadratic equation. We can then apply the procedures involved using completing the squares method. This method involves a number of steps, so I'm going to outline the steps and use them to solve the equation. Step 1. Make the coefficient of s squared unitary. The term that is squared, whether s or not, its coefficient is always 1. That is unitary. In the given equation, the coefficient of s squared is already 1. So the equation remains the same. Step 2. Transfer the constant term to the right hand side. This is the constant term. If you transfer it, it becomes plus 4. So you have s squared minus 4s equal to 4. Step 3, add square of half of the coefficient of s to both sides. In step 2, the coefficient of s is minus 4. So you get half of minus 4 and you square it. That means 1 over 2 is half times minus 4 all squared. So you have minus 2 all squared. You add this term to both sides. So the first side is s squared minus 4s plus minus 2 squared equal to the right hand side. You have 4 plus minus 2 all squared. Step 4, ignore the term that contain s and simplify the right hand side. This term that contain s minus 4s, you ignore it. If you ignore it, you are left with s squared plus minus 4 minus 2 in bracket, then you square it. As you are doing that, you simplify the right hand side. So you have 4 plus minus 2 squared is plus 4. When you add, that gives you 8. Step 5, combine the squares on the left hand side. These two square, s square and this square, you combine them. It's a form of factorial add power 2. If you do that, you have s minus 2 all squared equal to 8. Step 6, take square roots of both sides and solve the linear equation. You take the square root of the first side. You know, in quadratic equation, we always have two roots. To achieve that by this method, anytime you are taking the square root of the right hand side or the rational number, you always attach plus minus. So you have plus minus root 8. The left hand side, the square root will remove square. You are left with s minus 2 equal to plus minus root of 8 is 2.828. So you solve the linear equation. First, you transfer minus 2 to the right hand side. It becomes plus 2. That term plus and minus is always in the middle. So the 2 you transfer will comes first. So you have s equal to 2 plus minus 2.828. The plus minus means you write the expression 2 times starting with minus. So s is equal to 2 minus 2.828 or 2 plus 2.828. If you subtract and add, you have s equal to minus 0.828 or 4.828. So 2dp will consider 8.2 and 8.2. If you approximate, you have minus 0.83 or 4.83. That is what you should have here. That is the answer to 2 decimal places. Question 7b. In the diagram, PQRST is a circle with center O. If PS is a diameter, ROS parallel QT, Q arrow equal to ROS, and angle QTS equal to 52 degrees. Find, remember figure 1, angle SQT. Remember figure 2, angle PQT. So we have a solution. Now from here, we are told that PS is a diameter. That means this angle is 90 degrees. That is angle in a semicircle. So we have little adjustment in diagram before we proceed by looking for the required angles. Remember figure 1, you have to find angle SQT. Let us start this way. Let's take Q arrow ST as a quadrilateral, and you have this angle and this angle. They are interior opposites, and their sum is 180. So you have angle QRS plus angle QTS equal to 180, interior opposite angles of a quadrilateral. So we have angle QRS, QTS is 52 degrees equal to 180. To get QRS, you transfer 52 to the right hand side, and you have 180 degrees minus 52 degrees equal to 128 degrees. Now let us consider triangle QRS. By these two markings, it means that triangle QRS is isosceles triangle. For that reason, the base angles are equal. So you have angle arrow QS is equal to angle arrow SQ, base angles of isosceles triangle. So if you add the three angles in the triangle, their sum is 180. Now these two angles are equal. That means you can take any one. So here I'm using S arrow SQ equal to arrow QS. When you add both, you have two angles arrow QS. You transfer this angle to the right hand side, and you have 180 degrees minus 128 degrees equal to 52 degrees. Divide both sides by 2, you have arrow QS equal to 52 degrees divided by 2, and that is 26 degrees. So this angle 26, and this angle is also 26. Now let us check SQT. You are asked to find SQT. That is S, you have Q and T. We have it that angle SQT, that is this angle SQT, this angle is equal to arrow SQ, that is arrow, this is arrow SQ, that is this angle that you have here. What is the reason? Alternate angles, because arrow S is parallel to QT. So letter Z is fashionable from this place. That is why SQT is equal to arrow SQ, alternate angles. Second part is to get angle PQT. Angle P, okay, we have angle PQT. That is this angle now, this angle PQT. First, we have it that angle PQS is 90 degrees. The whole of this angle 90 degrees, angles in a semicircle. Now this angle is already 26 and the whole angle is 90. It means this remaining part is 90 minus 26 degrees. So therefore angle PQT is 90 degrees minus 26 degrees, and that is 64 degrees. Question 8a. In the diagram, angle KLM is equal to S, angle LMK is equal to Y, angle KJH is equal to arrow, and angle KGF is equal to 110 degrees. If 2S equal to arrow equal to Y, find the value of S. Solution. Here we have three triangles. One is LJK. There are two angles there, so we need this third angle so that if we add both together, we equate to 180. But that angle is not known. But if we can get this angle and get this angle here is equal to those two angles. Exterior angle equal to the two opposite interior angle. Now we have HMG, this angle here is equal to LMK, that is equal to Y. This angle is equal to Y. What's the reason? Vertically opposite angles. Then to get this angle here, if you add it to 110, the sum is equal to 180 angles on a straight line. So you have angle HGM plus 110 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. To get HGM, you collect like angles where you have 180 degrees minus 110 degrees equal to 70 degrees. So this angle here is Y and this angle is 70. Now this angle here is equal to Y plus 70 degrees. That is JHL. This angle here, JHL, is equal to angle HMG plus 70 degrees. Exterior angle, that is JHL, equal to sum of the two opposite interior angle. So angle JHL is equal to Y plus 70 degrees. We now consider triangle JHL. If you add the three angles in that triangle, the sum is 180. Now JHL is Y plus 70 degrees plus S plus arrow as given in the triangle equal to 180 degrees. So let's collect like terms. Let's move this one first. So you have 2S plus S. Let's see what happens there. From here, Y is equal to 2S from this expression. 2S equal to Y equal to arrow. Because we are interested in S, where we see Y, you can put 2S. Then plus S. This arrow here is also equal to 2S from the expression. So you have 2S plus S plus 2S equal to 180 degrees minus 70 degrees. So you have 5S equal to 110 divided both sides by 5. You have S equal to 22 degrees. Question 8b. 10 boys and 12 girls collected donations for a project. The total amount collected by the boys is 600 naira greater than that collected by the girls. If the average collection of the boys was 100 naira greater than the average collection of the guests. How much was collected by the two groups? From the question, we have to denote the amount collected by guests first, because boys is more than that amount by 600. You must do a critical thinking here. So let S naira represent the donation collected by guests. Then the one by the boys is 600 greater, that is S plus 600. Same thing apply to the average collection. Now let Y represent the average collection, that is SG. The average collection of the guests now, SG of the guests. Then the average collection of the boys is that of the guests plus 100. So the average collection of the guests is represented by Y, and the average collection of the boys is 100 more, that is Y plus 100. From elementary statistics, average is always sum of the numbers divided by. So here the average of guests is the amount of donation collected, that is S, all over number of guests, that is 12, and this average is equal to Y. See that? So if you clear the fractions, you have S equal to 12Y. You call that equation 1. Then for the boys, the sum of money collected is S plus 600 all over 10 boys, and is equal to the average Y plus 100. If you clear the fractions, you have S plus 600 is equal to, okay, we have 10, not 12, is equal to 10, bracket open, Y plus 100. You call that equation 2. From here, we proceed, we solve for S, we solve for Y, then the amount collected by the two groups. To continue, we simply substitute equation 1 into equation 2. This is equation 2. Now equation 1, S is equal to 12Y. So anywhere S is, you replace it with 12Y. So you have 12Y plus 600. If you open this bracket, you have 10Y plus 100. Collect like terms, and you have 12Y minus 10Y is equal to 1000 minus 600. You have 2Y equal to 400. Divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to 400 over 2, and that is 600. To get S, we simply use equation 1. Equation 1, S is equal to 12Y, and Y is 200. So S is 12 times 200, and that is 2400. Thus, the guests collected 2400 naira, and the boys collected 600 more, that is 2400 plus 600, and that is 3000 naira. Now the amount by the two groups is simply addition, that is 2400 naira plus 3000 naira, and that is 5600 naira. Petakus simplified maths, If you are watching and viewing from YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like and share PSF videos. If you are watching and viewing from Facebook, follow and like the page. Also share PSM videos for more updates from time to time. Question 9. The weight in kilogram of 50 students in a competition is as follows. So you have for the first row 66, 66, 67, 66, 64, 66, 65, 63, 65, 68, and so on. A part of the question: construct a frequency table for the discrete data. B. Calculate correct to 2 decimal places. D. Math figure 1, mean. Math figure 2, standard deviation of the data. Solution: you have the same weight data here. Then A, we are to construct a frequency table. Now we use S to denote the weight. Now the data point, they are very close, so here we cannot form class interval, rather we use them the way they are. You simply look for the least weight, that is 62, and the highest weight is 68. Then you list them in this form: 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. In order to know how many times each weight occur, that is frequency, you can use tally. Tally is stroke representation of frequency. To do that, you use your pencil or biro. Now the first weight, I'm going to strike it off and record it with a stroke against 66. The next one, 64, you strike it off and record it against 64, followed by 65, you record it against 65. You have 66, you record it against 66. You have 66 again, you record it against 66. You do that for all the data points. After doing that, you have these tallies. Now a bundle of tally contains 5 strokes. You have 4. You use the 5th one to join or cross the 4 together. So if the tally is written as frequency, 1 stroke means 1. So bundle of 5, then you have 5. For 64, you have 12. For 65, you have 14. For 66, you have 10. For 67, you have 6. For 68, you have 2. If you add all together, you have 50. Now let's get the mean. The mean for data involving frequency is simply the summation of Fs, that is product of frequency and the weight divided by sum of frequency. For that, you need to add the next column, Fs, and for Fs, this your S, this your F, so you multiply 62 by 1, you have 62. The next one, 63 times 5, you have 315. 64 times 12, you have 7, 6, 8, and so on. Because the sum is needed, if you add everything in the Fs column, you have 3,253. So you divide it by 50, and that gives the mean weight as 65.06 kilogram to the nearest or to 2 decimal places. Now figure 2, you are asked to find the standard deviation. You have this formula or this. The second one is the expanded form of the first formula. Both will give the same result, but the second one is easier to work with, because if you have to work with this, you have to look for s minus the mean, you square it, multiply by f before you add. So I'm going to add about 3 columns to the table after fs column. So I'm going by the second one. The second one is summation fs squared, that is under square root, over summation f minus bracket open summation fs over summation f bracket close or square, the same as the mean that you've obtained earlier. So by the second formula, I need to compute s squared. So you come and square each value here. If you square each value here, you have this result. Then for f squared, you use fs squared, the frequency 1, to multiply the first s squared here, you get this result. The next frequency is 5 times the next number, you get the second one. Now let's jump to 10 times 4, 3, 5, 6, you get this result. Summation fs squared means you add everything in this column, and you have 211,733. You replace it with that value, you divide by 50 minus the mean 65.06 all square under square root. So you have square root. If you divide this value, you have 4234.66 minus, if you square the mean, you have 4232.8036. If you subtract, you have square root of 1.8564. To 2 decimal places, you have 1.36 as the standard deviation of the discrete data. Question 10. Using ruler and a pair of compasses only, A. Construct figure 1 triangle SYZ such that SY is 10 centimeters, angle SYZ 30 degrees, angle YSZ 45 degrees. Figure 2, locus L1 of points equidistant from Y and Z. Figure 2, locus L2 of points parallel to S, Y and through Z. B. Locate point M, the point of intersection of L1 and L2. C. Measure angle ZMY. Because of the practical nature and demonstration of construction, consult your maths teacher, but I'm going to illustrate what should happen. Now, we only have one side given to you in the question, that is SY, so you measure 10 centimeters with your ruler somewhere here. So this point is Y and this point is S and Y. So you have S and Y. Now you have angle SYZ as 30, that is somewhere here. Angle SYZ, you have to construct angle 60 first. If you construct angle 60, you have to draw an arc with your pair of compass. You put the arc here, you mark somewhere here, you put it here, you mark somewhere here, then you draw it to this point here. That's angle 60. Then you bisect 60 to have 30. So you have 30 somewhere here. Now angle YSZ 45, you have to draw 90 first. So with your ruler, with your pair of compass, you take reasonable radius and you mark an arc here. You put the arc somewhere here, you draw another one, the arc here, you mark here also, and you join the 2 points together. If you bisect it, you have 45 degrees. So this is Z. Now we got 2, locus L1 of point equidistant from Y and Z. This Y and Z equal distance. So we take the locus L1 as somewhere here. That's locus L1. Then locus L2 parallel to SY. That means it must be a straight line through Z. The point of intersection is M. So somewhere here is M. Somewhere here is M. Then from there you measured angle SMY. So this is what you are expected to construct. Question 11a. If 3p plus 4q over 3p minus 4q is equal to 2, find p ratio q. So this is the given problem. You can write 2 as 2 over 1 to enable you cross multiply, and you have this result. Open the bracket in the right hand side. You have 3p plus 4q equal to 6p minus 8q. Collect like terms. Let p be on the left and q on the right. So you have 3p minus 6p. If you transfer plus 6p becomes minus 6p equal to minus 8q minus 4q. When you subtract, you have minus 3p equal to minus 12q. Divide through by minus 3, you have p equal to 4q, and that can be expressed as p. Now if you divide through again by q, now if you divide through by q, because for you to have p ratio q, you need to have a fraction p over q. So if you divide through by q, you have p over q equal to 4, which can be written as over 1. And p over q can be expressed in ratio as p ratio q equal to 4 over 1, can be expressed in ratio as 4 ratio 1. B part. The diagram shows the cross section of a bridge with semicircular hollow in the middle. If the perimeter of the cross section is 34 meters, calculate the figure 1 length PQ, figure 2 area of the cross section. So this is the semicircular part of it. Take pi equal to 22 over 7. Solution. Let the radius of the semicircle be arrow meters. Circumference or perimeter of the semicircle is always pi arrow. You know, circumference of a circle is 2 pi arrow. Then for a semicircle, you have pi arrow meters. Perimeter of the cross section is 34 meters. Let us put all of these together and get the length PQ and the area of the cross section. Since the perimeter of diagram is given to you, if you add all the sides together, PQ is among and you can get it. So the perimeter is PU, that is 4 meters plus PQ. Then Q arrow is 4 again. From here to here you have 2. Now perimeter of the semicircle is pi arrow, so you have pi arrow, and the last dimension is 2 meters, equal to 34. If you add the constant there, you have 12 plus PQ plus pi arrow equal to 34. Collect like terms first. You have PQ plus pi arrow is equal to 34 minus 12, and you have PQ plus pi arrow is equal to 22. Now let's get PQ. PQ is this 2 plus this 2. Then from here to this place is diameter of the semicircle. So consider TS. TS is the diameter, and diameter is equal to 2 radius. So you have 2 plus 2, that is this 2, and this 2 is 4, and TSD is equal to 2 arrow. So you have 4 plus 2 arrow. So in place of P, you replace P with 4 plus 2 arrow plus pi arrow equal to 22. You transfer 4 again, you have 2 arrow plus pi arrow equal to 22 minus 4. You can factor out arrow from here, and you have arrow bracket open, 2 plus pi equal to 18, and pi is 22 over 7. So you have it in this form. If you add the terms in the bracket, you have 36 over 7 arrow equal to 18. To get arrow, multiply through by 7 first, and you have 36 arrow equal to 18 times 7. Divide through by 36, you have arrow equal to 18 times 7 over 36. If you reduce, you have 7 over 2 to mixed fraction, 3 whole number, 1 over 2. That is the radius. So let PQ. From analysis, PQ is 4 plus 2 arrow. So 4 plus 2 arrow, and arrow is 7 over 2. So you have 4 plus 2 times 7 over 2. 2 cancel 2. You have 4 plus 7 equal to 11 meter. Then we got 2. Area of cross section. Area of cross section is area of rectangle PQRU minus area of semicircle. So we have the rectangle is length times breadth. Area of the rectangle is length times breadth minus area of semicircle 1 over 2 pi r square. The length PQ is 11 times the breadth is 4 minus 1 over 2 times pi 22 over 7 times arrow is 7 over 2 all squared. 11 times 4 is 44. Here, if you divide 22 by 2, you are left with 11 over 7 times the square means you write 7 over 2 as 7 over 2 times 7 over 2. Then this 7 can remove this 7. You have 44 minus 11 times 7 is 77 over 2 times 2, that is 4. If you divide this term, you have 44 minus 19.25. When you subtract, you have 24.75 square meters as the area of the cross section. The cross section is after when if you remove the semicircle from the rectangle, that is the cross section. So you do that through subtraction of the two areas. Question 12a, copy and complete the table of values correct to one decimal place for the relation y equal to 3 sin s plus 2 cos s for 0 degrees less than equal to s less than equal to 360 degrees. You have the table of values with some missing y values. You have to get them. Be part of the question using scale of 2 centimeters to 30 degrees on the x-axis and 2 centimeters to 1 unit on the y-axis. Draw the graph of the relation y equal to 3 sin s plus 2 cos s over the given range of s values. C. Use the graph to solve 3 sin s plus 2 cos s equal to 0. Now figure 2, 2 plus 3 sin s plus 2 cos s equal to 0. So let us take the solution to this question. Solution. A part, table of values for y equal to 3 sin s plus 2 cos s for the range of values of s at interval of 30 degrees as given in the table. You have 0 to 30 to 60 to 90, so the interval is 30. To get y values, we need to do two things. Look for 3 sin s and 2 cos s. This is what happened. So let's take 3 sin s. When s is 0, you check sin 0 degrees, that is 0, multiplied by 3, you have 0. When s is 30 degrees, you check sin 30 degrees, that is 0.5, multiply it by 3, you have 1.5. We are always using 1 dp. If you do that for the rest values, you have 2.6, 3.0, 2.6, 1.5, 0, and so on to 1 decimal place. Then you move to 2 cos s. When s is 0 degrees, cos 0 is 1. Multiply 1 by 2, you have 2. If you come to 60, cos 60 degrees is 0.5. Multiply by 2, you have 1.0, and so on. To get the value of y, you simply add the result for 3 sin s to 2 cos s. So if you add this, you have 2.0. If you add 1.5 and 1.7, you have 3.2. If you add 2.6 and 1.0, you have 3.6. If you add 2.6 and minus 1, you have 1.6. If you add this, you have minus 2.0. If you add this, you have minus 3.6, and so on. So next thing is to plot these points on the graph. So let's start with the given scale 2 cm to 30 degrees on the x-axis and 2 cm to 1 unit on the y-axis. This graph I'm using, you have each boss is 1 cm because it contains 5 lines. So if you combine 2 cm is 30 degrees. 2 cm is, but if you look at the values you have, if you do it that way, let's say here by this scale now, here is 30, here should be 60, you have 120, here is 150, here is 180, you have 210, here is 240, followed by 270, you have 300. So it will not accommodate the values you have. So the scale I used here is 2 centimeters to 60 degrees. In other words, 1 cm to 30 degrees. So the first place here is 30, here becomes 60, you have 90 and 120, 150, 180 and so on. Then on the y-axis, 2 cm to 1 unit. So this is 1 cm, here is 2 cm, you give it 1. The next 2 is 2, the next 2 is 3. If you go down, you have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. It is important that you know what one line stands for. Very important. Now on the y-axis, one line is 0.1. You have 10 lines, that is 1 unit. You divide number of units by number of lines, you have one line to be 0.1. And on the y-axis, on the x-axis, one line is 6 degrees. Next is to plot the values. When s is 0 degrees, y is 2. You plot that point directly on the y-axis. When s is 30, y is 3.2. So after 3, you count 2 lines upward because one line is 0.1. So you have 3.2 here against 30. When s is 60, y is 3.6. You count 6 lines after 3. You have 3.6 against 30. Against 60. When s is 90, y is 3. This is 3 against 90. When s is 120, y is 1.6. After 1, you count 6 lines upward. This is 1.6 against 120. When s is 150, y is minus 0.2. So we are coming down now. The second line after 0, minus 0.2 against 150. When s is 180, y is minus 2. This is minus 2 against 180. When s is 210, this is 210 now. Y is minus 3.2. After minus 3, you count 2 lines down. When s is 240, y is minus 3.6, somewhere here. When s is 270, that is this point, y is minus 3, somewhere here. When s is 300 degrees, y is minus 1.6. When s is 330 degrees, y is 0.2, somewhere here. And when s is 360 degrees, y is 2, somewhere here. So don't forget the title of the graph. It is simply the relation that you are plotting. Next is to join the points together using a flexible broomstick or a very accurate freehand drawing. The points have been joined together, so we move to C part. Use the graph to solve 3 sin s plus 2 cos s equal to 0. The relation on the left hand side is what you have plotted, and everything here is equal to y. If you replace it with y, it means the solution of the equation is the point or at the points of intersection of y equal to 0. That is simply where the curve cuts across the s-axis. One point is here. The curve cut the s-axis at this point, and another point is here. So from the graph, you have 144 degrees and 227 degrees. You know, here we said that one line is 6 degrees. So if you count from 120 now, you have 1, 2, okay, 3, then you have 4. Now 4 times 6 is 24. If you add to 120, you have 144 degrees. Roman figure 2, you are asked to solve 2 plus 3 sin s plus 2 cos s equal to 0. This equation is not the graph that is plotted. So you need to remove 2 from here for you to get the equation that is plotted. If you take 2 to the right hand side, it becomes minus 2. So everything here is equal to y. Therefore, the solution occurs at y equal to minus 2. So this is minus 2. You trace it across the curve and it come in contact with the curve at 2 points. One is here, another point is here. You trace the 2 points to the s-axis and you have 180 degrees and 294 degrees as the solution to that equation. Petakus Simplified Maths. If you are viewing and watching from YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like and share PSM videos. If you are viewing and watching from Facebook, follow and like the page. Also share PSM videos. Let us proceed to question 13, the last question in that year. Question 13a. Find the equation of a straight line which passes the point minus 2, 3 and is parallel to the line 2s plus y equal to 6. Now, two lines are parallel if the product of their gradients is equal to minus 1. So in order to get the second line, we need to get the gradient of the given line to help us get the gradient of that line that is parallel to 2s plus y equal to 6. Solution. Rearrange the given equation 2s plus y equal to 6 to the form y equal to ms plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the intercept at y-axis. To do that, simply transfer 2s to the right hand side and you have y equal to minus 2s plus 6. So we have this form now. We have it that m1, the first gradient, is minus 2 and c is equal to 6. The gradient of the line parallel to this, let it be m2. Like I said earlier, if the two lines are parallel, the product of their gradients is equal to minus 1. So you have m1, m2 equal to minus 1. We are looking for m2. So let's express m2 in terms of m1. So you have minus 1 over m1. And what is m1 minus 2? So you have minus 1 over minus 2, and that is 1 over 2. Equation of the line through the points 2 minus 3, that is gradient point form. Such equation can be obtained using this. Already everything here is the gradient 1 over 2. From this ordered pair, s1 is 2 and y1 is minus 3. That is what you have here. So if you simplify here, you have y plus 3 first. If you cross multiply, you have 2 multiplying y plus 3 in this form and 1 multiplying s minus 2. If you open the bracket, you have 2y plus 6 equal to s minus 2. If you rearrange it in this given form, you have to move, okay, you have to move y to the other side so that you have s minus 2y, and take minus 6 back and you have 6 plus 2. Therefore, s minus 2y is equal to 8. Or you have s minus 2y minus 8 is equal to 0 if you move plus 8 to the left hand side. Hence, the line passing through this point parallel to 2s plus y equal to 6 is s minus 2y equal to 8. 13b. The operation this is defined on the set with element 2, 3, 5, 7 by, you have s, the triangular operation is equal to s plus y plus sy modulo 8. Now figure 1, construct modulo 8 table for the operation on the set T. Now figure 2, use the table to find part 1, 2, triangular operation, bracket open, 5, the operation, then 7, close the bracket. Part 2, you have 2, the triangular operation, and n equal to 5, the operation, and 7. So round figure 1 is to construct modulo 8 table for the operation. So this is the operation. Table has row and column. Because we have the same set, you arrange the element row wise and column wise as in the table. So you get this entry from the operation. So 2, 2. When s is 2, y is 2. So here becomes 2 plus 2. That is 4. 2 times 2 is also 4. When you add, you have 8. Now, in modulo 8, you have 8 digits from 0 to 7. So any number that is greater than 7, you always divide it by 8 and you record the remainder. So 2 is 8, divided by 8 is 1, remainder 0. So you record remainder 0. You take 2 against 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 is not an element in modulo 8. So you divide 11 by 8 and you have 1 remainder 3. So you record remainder 3. You take 2 against 5. So you have 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. Divide by 8, you have 2 remainder 1. So you record the remainder. You take 2 against 7. That is 2 plus 7 is 9. 2 times 7 is 14. If you add 14 to 9, you have 23. If you divide 23 by 8, you have 2 remainder 7. So you record 7. You take 3 against the element in the column in the row view, then you take 5 and 7 to have the complete table as I have explained with the first one. Remember, you got 2 part 1. You are to solve or evaluate this. So let's start from the bracket. So you look for the remainder when 5 is used against 7. So this is 5, this is 7. If you trace down, this is the point of intersection 7. So this term here simplifies to 7. Then you look for 2, the operation, and 7. So this is 2, you have 7, the remainder is 7. So you have 7 as the answer to that problem. Part 2, already this is 7. So we are interested is 2 triangular operation n equal to 7. The meaning is this: which number will you use against 2 to get remainder of 7? 2 is the first set here. So this is 2. You look for where you can have remainder 7. That is here. And you trace the remainder upward. You have 7. Therefore, n is equal to 7. N is equal to 7. So this is the last question to the past question WAEC 2016. Lastly, there is every need for you to be saved, and if you are not, do that in a hurry, and you give your life to the Lord Jesus Christ, because he is the only one that has the power to save anyone. Simply confess him as your Lord and personal Savior. If you are saved already, congratulations. Live righteously and be prepared, because on the last day some will be taken and some will be left. Take good care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Study your books. Do the needful at all times. Flee every appearance of evil. Don't defraud others to make money. Use your hands and your brain to work genuinely and legally, and the Lord will bless you. Goodbye, and stay tuned to 2017.